What is the male masculinity? There once were a time when the male masculinity was not defined by promiscuity. It was not defined by flossing. It was not defined by idleness, but rather it was defined by one, love. Love. There was a time where our men used to love our women, love their children genuinely, love their nation genuinely. There was a time when our men used to be builders with their hands, with their minds. They would build up their communities and not tear their communities down. They would build up their families and not tear their families down. But now you have men who are tearing down their families, tearing down their children from the womb. You have men who it is nothing to them now to get a woman pregnant and not to care about the child or the woman. You have men now who are allowing themselves to be used as negative forces in our society to tear down the nation. And so we're being viewed by other nations as less than. And we have fallen into the role. And so there once were a time where our men used to be protectors, protecting their families, their women, their children from harm, not just physical harm, but mental harm, mental abuse, emotional abuse, spiritual abuse. Yes, there once were a time where our men used to be just that. There once were a time where our men used to be providers, not just physical providers, providers of money, yes, that used to be so as well, financial providers. Now you find that there are many of our men who are wanting to take the roles of the women, to say the woman should go out and be the breadwinner and to take care of the household, whilst he is able to be free to have other women create other children out there and not having the responsibility to take care of them. That's not what our men once was. That's not our men. And as I said, our men used to be providers, not just financially, but emotionally. They used to provide for their children and their women emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically. Our men used to be fathers, not just for their children, but for other children, children who don't have fathers. Our men used to mentor. Our boys had something to look up to. Our boys had examples of men based on the men that they were able to see in their community. So even if the father of that boy dies, he still has sufficient mentorship. He still has sufficient examples to see. But in today's world, the examples that our boys are seeing are the examples of the destructive elements who are tearing down our nation because systematically over time the family and the family structure has been watered down, has been diluted, has been eroded. And so now the boy is seeing mother being father, playing the role of father, provider, protector. So he has seen mother being mother and father. And as good as we are as women, a woman cannot teach a man to be the essence of manhood. A woman cannot give her son what the essence of manhood is. Just as how a father, a man, cannot give his daughter what the essence of womanhood is. That is why Jah, in the wisdom, showed us male and female, and the male and female went and had children. And that is why we were not hatched out of shells. We wake up and we don't see anyone around us. But it was specifically designed for us to be taken care of as babies, incubated, groomed by the two. And where one is absent, there once were structures in place to supplement that. Men in the communities, men in the families. And we have many men now. Who knows? They might not be altogether whole because they have issues contending with, but they are fighting through those issues because they know that something is wrong and they don't want to be a part of the problem. And so I am calling on our men to fight through this, to fight through the mental oppression, to fight through the mental enshacklement, and to rise from the ashes as the phoenix, as the head, as the man, as a provider, as a protector, as a builder. Most importantly, there once were a time when our men would be God-fearing, God-fearing, fearing the presence of Jah in their lives. Because the fact is, for the head to effectively lead, the oil must be able to flow from Jah onto the head of the leader. The leader must be able to hear divine instructions so that he's able to lead his family, so that he's able to protect his family, so that he's able to build, so that he's able to love, so that he is able to be provider effectively. Or men used to be God-fearing. And so society has redefined for us, for our nation. Because the thing about it is, the African man has to be wise. Look into other nations. Begin to do the research. Look into the other nations. And because there are a lot that has been taken away from us because of our colonial history or colonial past. There has been a lot that has been done to us. And so our insecurities are heightened. And this is where a lot of the issues are stemming from. So our insecurities are heightened. Majority of our men were taken, were refashioned mentally and emotionally and spiritually. But it's the time for our men to begin. If you don't know how to be, the first thing is acceptance. And once you're able to accept and to confess that, you know what, I want to do this, but I'm not so good at it. That's the beginning. And you begin to seek the guidance of Jah. And He will put mentors in your life. He'll put others in your life. So stand strong today and seek Jah and build your family. Grow your family. Be blessed.